slugs for my brain just like a rifle. Stampede the stage, I leave the microphone split. Play Mr. Tuffy while I'm on some pretty tone dish. Verbal assassin, my architect pleases. When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Nasty Nas is a rebel to America. Police murderer, I'm causing hysteria. My troops roll up with a strange force. I was trapped in a cage and lit out in the I was force. I was trapped in a cage and lit out by the main source. Swimming in women like a lifeguard. Put on a bulletproof, I get strike hard. Kidnap the president's wife without a plan. And hanging like the Ku Klux Klan. I melt mics till the sound waves over. Before stepping to me, I'd rather step to Jehovah.
All right, it's like that, y'all. Digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast. I am your host, the Hip Hop Wizard. Normally my co-host, Mr. McAdoo, would be here, but he's probably somewhere in Atlanta or somewhere in France or somewhere. You can check his Instagram. But we got a special guest, Mista Commercial, and so the reason why I started off with that is because I just went down to Raleigh last night for the New York State of Mind tour, and Nas. A lot of people don't know Nas first got to start with Main Source and Large Pro. So I went to the concert, man. It was eye opening, but again, it was refreshed to hear someone like Nas. So if you think about Nas, how is someone like Nas maybe had influenced you? So when you hear those lyrics, what comes to mind as far as lyricism?
Like a lot of things that Nas talking about is pretty much authentic, I got an uncle back in the days. He used to, I ain't gonna speak on what he used to do, but he used to be back and forth to Queens, and he used to deal with Nas actually.
Okay.
So I kind of like him, relate to a lot of things that he be saying. I know it's authentic, so I stand behind Nas.
Yeah, it was Nas and excuse me, it was Nas and Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
And Spectre Deck, Raekwon the Chef, Ghostface Killer. Raekwon killed it with Ice Cream, man. So
yeah, my boy.
Yeah, so
I like Raekwon.
So what do you think about groups like that? Back then until where you look at where music is at now.
I think they still more on principles back then, which kept them together. And a lot of guys don't stick together like nowadays, like they used to back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you heard Wu-Tang Clan, or them guys was out at any time, like they were pretty much moving like an army.
Yeah.
We used to move like that though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Me and my team, Marty Boys, we move like that. So I kinda understand how it was back then, But a lot of artists not doing that anymore.
Okay, well, we'll get into why you're here, but
okay,
yeah,
sure.
Wu-Tang was just, it was just dope.
Okay.
When I was in the military, I almost slept on Wu-Tang because I was looking at the album cover. Even Nas, when I saw Nas album cover with the little kid on there, I was like, man, this is probably some rock group or something. But a friend of mine who I was in the military, he was like, man, you need to get that. That's Nas.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I ain't buying that. And so when I bought the album, man, I went from every day when I got off of work, when I was in the military, I did PT.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't hard to tell. That's back when we had Walkmans and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm running and stuff. But anyway, we're gonna get into the 411.
What's the 411, hon? What's the 411?
We all know P. Diddy. He got many names. He wears many hats, shiny suits. He's always on, always doing something. We know from him having the locks, but he was hosting this year's BET Awards with more than 20 years in the industry as hip-hop's producer, artist, clothing line designer. I remember when Suge Knight said, if you don't want somebody all in your videos, come to Death Row.
Right.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
But
legendary.
yeah, and also he had this issue with Shine went to jail for him for about 20 years. So when you think about P. Diddy, do you think he should, was he the perfect person to host the BET Awards? Because at the time, because there's still a controversy about that.
Yeah. I don't think so, because I feel like it was more. It looks from the outside looking in. It looks like a choosing sides type of thing, like putting someone from the East Coast up there. So I kind of think they should have just went with somebody neutral. You know, like they wasn't really into all the East Coast West Coast thing. It would have. I think it would have been a little bit more smooth.
Okay. Gorilla, young lady has been making moves on social media certainly. Her song caught a lot of views, and they had the FNFC challenge. She's 23 years old from Memphis, Tennessee, a native. Of course, you got groups like 3-6 Mafia from Memphis. From what you know about her, do you think that Memphis is making its way back as far as music?
Yeah, I definitely think Memphis on one at the top right now. But I ain't gonna lie though, Memphis always kind of stayed on top of it with the music, you know, for people that really know music, you know what I'm saying. But I think like on a mainstream level, yeah, they on top right now.
Yeah,
Memphis strong.
You like 3-6 Mafia?
Yeah, I fuck with 3-6.
Yeah. 3-6 Mafia is hopefully, you know, those groups will be making a comeback.
Yeah, for sure.
8 Ball and MJG. There's a lot of, but 3-6 Mafia, Project Pack, Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo, she was just on Drink Champs.
Oh, word up.
Yeah, my wife was watching it. Matter of fact, when I got home, she was watching
hard.
the Gangsta Boo. Yeah, Gangsta Boo go hard, man.
She was lit, like real life.
On more recent, you know, news, which I think is very important. You know, Brittany Griner, you know, got detained in Russia, and she's been over there for quite some time. There's an outcry of, you know, getting her home. There was a statement that was made saying that if it was LeBron James, he would be home. You know, so when you think about somebody like that, you know, could be a rapper or could be a female. I mean, you know, what are your stance on? You know, have you ever been overseas or out of the country?
Yeah, I actually did, but I went on like a cruise for like a long time, but I never really flew out. And I kind of got a fear for that because of things like that happening. Because I've always been like, what if I get stuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a weird.
You ever watch that show Locked Up Abroad?
Yeah.
Man, they be having some crazy stuff. Like, you know, depends on where you go. I mean, I've been overseas, but like you said, you know, you don't know what these other countries are like. And then given the situation with, you know, the war in Ukraine with Russia, you know,
wasn't the time for that.
It wasn't the time for that. I mean, she got CBD oil or whatever the case may be. But I actually, you know, my cousin was here. She played in the WNBA Tangela Smith, and she said that when she played over in Russia, she mainly just had time to, you know, go play her ball game, you know, go get something to eat, and then be in her room because you just don't know.
Right.
But moving on, R.I.P. to PNB Rock. You know, for me, it's just all this shooting and stuff when it comes to these artists. It was said that he was at a Waffle House, which growing up in California, I know where that Waffle House is. You know, what is do you think it's rappers trying to live the way that they're, you know, the way that the lyrics come out, or is just a, you know, circumstantial type stuff?
I just think it's all about, like, when you at a certain level, you just gotta know how to move. You know what I'm saying? And I take that back because I really won't even say at a certain level. You just gotta know how to move in general. Because people are terrible out here. People are at their worst point. You know what I'm saying? You got people out here starving, like. And so for him, I feel like that was a bad decision for him to even go to that area. You know what I'm saying? With that type of wealth, you know, with no security, nothing. Like, I didn't understand it, you know. So you just gotta be safe out here.
Yeah, you do certainly. I know you being an artist, and I know you know, very careful of the things you do and what you should. But I just think that even you know, back in the 80s and 90s, you know, artists moved, you know, differently and being very braggadocious and, you know, I got this even, you know, I'm not in the industry, but I'm not going to put where I'm at. Certainly if, you know, if I'm with my significant other, I'm not going to disclose where I'm at. Yeah, you know, it's just, Tell us a little bit about where you're from. I know you a mixture of hip hop, pop. You're a very diverse artist. I looked at your YouTube page, and where does that, you know, who is Mr. Commercial, and you know what, you know, how did you, growing up as a kid, was there anybody that you listened to that influenced you to be, you know, to rap?
Yeah, I'm from a small town in North Carolina called Gibson, North Carolina. I was born in Laurinburg. It's not really much going on down there, so it's like pretty much like the story of every young black man's struggle, like just trying to make it out, you know. And I was always like a jack of all trades, you know. I could do anything, like cut hair, draw, play sports, anything. But I just fell in love with making music, you know what I'm saying? I always engineered myself. And I just kept on working and started a series, Hot Summer. I've been doing those for like 12 years now. I'm on number 12, so they're real dope.
So what is if you can tell our artists, what, you know, how'd you come up with Hot Summer, and what is that really about?
It was a mixtape I started one summer, which is obviously 12 years ago. I started it, the first one, I named it based off my little girl. Her name is Summer also. So I named it that, and I decided to just keep going every year with the same, like a sequel. And I just didn't stop. So every year it just kept getting hotter and hotter, and it's still hot, you know.
Okay, so what else is what are you like currently working on now, and any tours, or you know?
Yeah, like for the last probably like 2 months now, I've been just doing media runs. I'm pretty much just now heating back up. So probably in the wintertime I start back booking more shows, you know. But I'm just promoting my single right now, which is called Walkthrough. It's available on all platforms. We'll be shooting a video for that next month. And yeah, just be on the lookout for that.
Okay. What inspires and influences you in the music industry? Do you have any artists that you consider your favorite? So if you had to give a top 5, who would be in your top 5?
That always be the question that really kind of like hangs, because I really don't. Like I listen to a lot of like underground artists, you know what I'm saying? Like artists really trying to like climb, and like younger artists, and cause I engineer also, so I'm always tapped into what's going on and staying on top of the really big into like listening to like a lot of big artists, or letting them inspire me on how I make my music. I inspire myself. Like my life story is my inspiration, you know.
Tell us about you know, you're launching what is it, Quality Engineering? Yeah. So tell us, you know, about that.
So I've been mixing for over 13 years on my own. So I never really had a name for it, because I used to just mix my own stuff. So a lot of people started coming to me, and I built a large a book of clientele. So it was probably 2-3 years ago, I was like, I need a name for, you know what I'm saying? I need a name to carry, because I'm starting to hear a lot of songs that I done cut up and mixed and stuff like that. So I'm like, I need a tag, and that's why I came up with Quality Engineering, because I always focus on quality, you know what I'm saying, first, clarity.
So you know, when you're engineering, or you know, making a beat to 16 bars, how do you match up the lyrics, or you just try to figure out what their flow is? So as an engineer.
So as an engineer, I got guys that make beats. I used to do that. I don't really deal with the beats anymore. So I'm more in control of mixing and blending and, you know, leveling and stuff like that. So
what would you say is the hardest part about being an up and coming artist in the music industry?
It's the hate that comes with it, you know, and it's it'd be hate for no reason, you know what I'm saying? They'll hold their nuts on you. You might have people in certain positions of power that they don't wanna open that door for you because of something personal. You know, it might be just a little hate they had in their blood. They never said though. You know, so it's the stuff you have to go through to get where you're trying to go.
Do you think hate is more jealousy because, or is it just?
It'd be a lot, yeah, pretty much jealousy, like, and it'd be like for reasons that don't even have nothing to do with probably the reason that they're, you know what I'm saying, holding back on you. It'll be like petty stuff. It might be girls, or it might be something like, he was too cool that day. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't cool that day. I'm mad. It'd be stuff like that. People crazy, bro.
So guess when you go on tours, how your show set up. I know the lyrics is important, but what type of show did you give your audience?
Yeah, I pretty much, so like by me engineering, I cut my own show mixes.
Okay.
So like I have my vocals where I need them. Probably like my choruses will be like up, so I make sure you can sing along with me. But my main thing when I'm on the stage, that mic don't come down. I make sure that you hear me rapping or singing every single thing I have on track. You know what I mean? So I'm not big on the just letting it play and thing. Like I really can deliver. And plus I'm working. I got a live band also. So
oh really?
I'm doing like live work now. Like yeah.
Okay, well, we might have to get y'all back in here and do a tiny desk
Let's do
concert.
it. Yeah, that's what I want to do, bro.
Yeah,
This the spot for that, bro.
Yeah.
I got my own band. That's my work. Everything.
Okay.
Basis.
So, as we wrap up, how can people hear your music? What's your handles?
You can Google me and go grab whatever you want. My name is Mista Commercial. They call me Mercial. I'm available on all digital platforms. YouTube channel Mista Commercial also. My Instagram is @MercialMB4L. You can catch me at once you tap into all those social media platforms, you'll be able to see or find whatever music I have. Pretty dope though. I'm a pretty dope artist. I don't toot my own horn or nothing like that, but once you check me out, you'll see I wasn't playing.
Okay. Well, I definitely checked out your video, Miss 910.
I appreciate y'all having me too.
Oh, we appreciate you. I know we were supposed to do it months ago, but everything has its
for sure.
season. So this has been Digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast, the Hooker and Mac Show. I am your co-host, the Hip Hop Wizard. I don't have my mask on, but because sometimes when I put it on, people start tripping and being like, "Man, you got that mask on." But hey, everybody else does it.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, we have a group of interns that are going to work hard, so they're here. This is their first time being in the studio. I hope to get you and your band in here.
Oh yeah, that's my next move though.
Yeah, we're
gonna tiny desk this out.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, I got you.
My co-host usually drops gems of wisdom, but I think what we can say today is that music is it's the heart beat of our life. It when you're on the freeway of joy, music kind of turns those wheels. Okay, so don't be afraid of what may happen tomorrow. Live your dream through opportunities that may knock at your door. This has been Digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast, the Hooker and Mac Show, and again, Mista Commercial. We out.